Wouldn't it be great to restore rotation back into your spine? Wouldn't you like to know? I've got a great exercise for you coming in a second. Hi revivers and rehabbers. This segment's going to be about the lower trunk rotation exercise and also spinal twisting. So let's talk about spinal twisting with our old friend Albert here. So what's interesting about rotation and what is necessary for rotation in the spine is that we have capsules, ligaments, and bony structures that create rotation. Things like the multifidus and the rotational rotatories provide rotation in our body. And so, we did a great exercise called the lift-off exercise. But what is interesting about this is those muscles plus the structures and these facets is that sometimes they get lodged or they're not working or they're not sliding and gliding. And the interesting mechanism is that they stay behind. The one on top has the lower segment and then the one from bottom has a higher segment, and they create this little frictioning thing. So if you want to rotate, they'll go up and they'll go down. So it's an up glide and down glide is what we call it. But what is interesting is that these mechanisms are pulled by muscles, ligaments, and capsules. So if we're chronically always manipulating or self-popping or cracking ourselves, we lose the essence of that. So we have to restore that with this great exercise that we're gonna get right back to you with. All right, we have Stephanie here. So let's talk about the lower trunk rotation. One of the features of this exercise, most people classically do a trunk rotation just by trying to let their legs actually go and spin on an axis. Now what happens is over that time, you're taking that and grinding away at your poor disc and possibly even rupturing it. So what happens here again is that, do you feel that pressure here, Stephanie? That doesn't feel good, especially if you have those of you that out there that have some herniated disc. You're just gonna make it a little bit more angry. So let's not do that. What we're gonna do next is let's talk about is there a possibility of opening up and rotating and like a tubular or cylindrical manner. And I think that's possible if we set stage and put our leg in a different place. So if you make it shoulder width apart, what's gonna happen here is on this different view is actually one leg, the leg is gonna go to the side and this leg is going to go down towards the bottom of the table. And so what we created is a lengthening process and a little bit of a stretch of those obliques. So we're gonna show you that on this side. Okay, so let's do that on this side. So you're gonna do that and then you're gonna open up. And so Seth, I'm gonna have you, and what you're gonna see is now this side is exposed and that's the spine. She's showing us what has to happen. Okay, and that's a great way. It feels like a great stretch, but there's a little bit more to this exercise than just a great stretch and learning how to rotate. But I actually think if we really can elongate our side body, that really improves the way we walk and move every day. So let's do that here. And now we're at a point where you're either at a point of discomfort or stiffness, and you want to avoid that. We don't really want to go after a lot of that stiffness. So, because that's the stuff we can start working it out very slowly. It's a very complex exercise, but once you get it, it's gonna work in your favor. So now we have each segment. And so let's talk about every segment. So one segment at a time is the goal. And so let's start here at the very top. And this is where the beginning of her rotation is. So right here is the place. And so if you really think about it, let's bring it down towards the floor or the table one segment at a time. So you're gonna press one segment, and that's what those multifidi muscles do. They're trying to draw that rotation and create stability. So right here, we're gonna press down, and it takes a lot of effort. It's gonna make you shake, you're gonna use your trunk, but it's almost like I gotta press that back in. So go ahead and press that down more and more, and you see she's really working, and now my finger is there. Now if you don't have someone with their finger or a therapist to help you out, and now do the next segment. And so you're trying to unwind one segment at a time. So, yep, there you go. And then there you go. Push down, there it is. And this is almost the last thing to come back. This is more like passive weight, dead weight. Yep, now press this one down. Down more, down more, down more. And it's a lot of work. And if you find yourself having a difficult segment, that's when you can work on it one at a time. You can unlock it and then try to lock it back in. Unlock it, lock it back in. Right? And then she's struggling. She's gonna build a sweat here real soon. Gotta come back. Let's try it again. Push it back down. And so I'm making her work that one segment. Do you feel that, Seth? Now, if I'm not around, then like I said, you can stick a little towel roll. Boom, I have a towel roll. So, all right, so that's the spot, okay? And you can really work on freeing that up one segment at a time. Good, one towel roll and really working. And there's some small muscles, I would say they're about the size of like my thumbnail here. So those are the little muscles that ache and pain and then create that snappy, grindy if they're weak. So let's get those stronger and start creating that dynamic stability and stable mobility. So good. And then now you can go down further. Just show them what it really looks like and then go down the next one here. Good, and then go on the next one. And this is being able to disassociate the spine. A lot of times, for those of you with back pain out there, you're only using the top and the bottom, and then all the stuff in the middle doesn't work because all these muscles are weak. So then you overuse, and I believe that's really what leads to a lot of breakdown out there for those degenerative disc diseases and or herniated discs. You rupture those because guess what? You do this too long and poof, there's nothing left. So, and that's going on to the next. So let me take this out. Yep. And then, so let's go to the next here. So you start again. We'll show you the whole thing. Here, here. Like I like to tell people sometimes think of a Ziploc bag. I'm just zipping it up. Zip right there, zip right there, zip right there, zip. And the last thing to come up is those legs. Great. Now what's really cool is if I took a top, a bird's view right here, your bird's eye view, you're going to be able to rotate it nicely so it almost spins this way and then spins that way. So go ahead and now go that way. So make sure you check this with your healthcare professional. It's the right exercise for you and at the right time. It's really important you don't do this early on in your care. Wasn't that a great exercise to really pinpoint and work on these segments little by little? Those multifidus muscles are just so important. So if you like what we're doing, remember to subscribe below, and if you want to leave a comment, please leave it in the box. Remember, we can and we will get better together. So one, make sure you set it up your knees shoulder width apart. The trailing knee goes down. So one goes down, one goes to the sidewall. And then your next focus is you're gonna bring it back down one segment at a time from top to bottom. And if you're letting go, if you want to be more complex, it's bottom to top, but top to bottom. And if you're having trouble, you could pick one segment at a time and use a towel and work it out, start lubricating that joint, restoring that function back.